hypnotized by you. Hey, all the suffering and pain got me feeling so blue. Cause when it was us, I was never enough. Girl, you got me thinking I was messed up, pushing me down instead of pulling me up. So tell me what I'm supposed to do just to be alright. Girl, you got me thinking I was messed up, yeah.
Oh, what it do, folks? What it do? Black Friday. It is today, right? November 26th. Welcome to H&M Live. I'm your host, James Hicks. Got a very special episode today. We got Miss Ileane in the building. Y'all saw her in the countdown. So get your pencils out, get your piece of paper out, because you know she's going to come dropping some serious knowledge for you, especially around the content creation environment. That's what we're going to be focusing on today. So hope everyone had a great holiday. Hope everyone didn't eat everything that was in front of them. And you got some energy to go ahead and hang out with us for about 30, 45 minutes. But before we get started, again, Black Friday, a lot of us creators are doing some things. And shouts out to our friends over at Press and Sew. We've got some merch out there, folks. Myself, a lot of other key creators out there in the industry. We got some gear out there, and we got some great prices. So you see me rocking the Chief Everything Officer. I got that out there on Black Friday sale. Where am I at, man? Let me scroll down here. There we go. We got Chief Everything Officer, and we got the J. Nicole in the collection. Love wins. Get that. You guys, you definitely want to get that one, especially in that dope purple frost. So shouts out to Press and Sew and everyone all the other creators as well that are doing some things. Let me throw that link up for you right quick. JamesHicks.link/Black Friday. That'll get you to that main page where you see all of the phenomenal creators that have Black Friday deals going. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. Come back and say what's really good, what's going on. We see some folks in the building. Seldom seen B. Appreciate you. Look, that's the hat right there. I'm actually going to trademark this and put this in my store as well, man. But I appreciate you for jumping in. Rich Vibes is in the building. How you doing, man? Great to see you. Great to see. What time is it over there in the UK? It's probably 2:00 in the morning, Saturday, I think. You're in the future, but love it. Barbara Tallman. So you know these are good folks coming in. This is definitely we are streaming live to my platforms, all of the Hicks New Media platforms. So we're using some fantastic technology from Restream called Restream Pairs. So we are simultaneously streaming to Miss Ileane's channels as well. So, you know, let me go ahead and shut up and let me go ahead and bring in the lady who everyone here has come to see. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ileane Smith, how are you doing?
Hello, everyone. I'm doing really great. I hope that everyone has had a fantastic holiday, and then we got this extra day. Some of us have an extra day to hang out.
to sleep and rest and recover, right, from all the turkey and the ham and all that good stuff, you know.
Absolutely.
I love it. So see that's the reason why I brought you on right there. Just to, well, of course, to talk to you, but to see that tagline right there, the "Hello, beautiful people." So that's what it is for sure. That's what it is for sure. Let's go and get focused. Let's go and get into it, right? Today, I wanted to talk about social media platforms, kind of focused on. We talk a lot about creators, but everyone can take advantage, especially of some technology and the platform that we're going to talk about today. It's one of the OGs out there, Twitter, right? And a lot of folks have been waiting for Twitter to come with a subscription service. I know I have. I agree with paying for worth, and especially for compensating software developers, software design, and things of that nature. So when I first had access to it, saw that it popped up in my screen, I quickly jumped on it. $2.99. Look, just a cup of coffee, right? I'm buying it anyway. I might as well pay for something I'm taking advantage of. But I want to pick your brain a little bit because you've done a couple of streams, you've done a couple of conversations about Twitter Blue, and I want to talk to both sides of the fence, right? Folks who may be interested in doing it, and folks who may be contemplating is there value in actually paying the $3 a month for it, right? Let me say what's going on to this guy right here, Greg. What's good with you, man? What's good with you? Good to have you here. You can chime in as well, Greg, because I know you've got opinions about software development and social media networks, things like that, because you are building some phenomenal stuff with Zealous over in your neck of the woods. But before we get moving forward, there are some folks sitting in the back of the room who may not know who Ileane Smith is. And let's tell them who you are real quick, right?
Well,
I threw you right. I threw you right out there, didn't you? Right? You weren't ready for that, but I think
that's okay.
we assume because a lot of times we assume.
I just didn't know if you were going to do it or
Can't
if you
nobody
wanted me
do
to
it
do
better
it.
than Miss Ileane. Look, you
Well,
better go
okay.
ahead.
First of all, I am a live streamer. I'm a podcaster. I started as a blogger in 2009. And so I am a huge, first of all, Twitter fan because I started with Twitter in 2009 as well. And I'm still hanging in there. So, I do a lot with training people and showing people. I like to say, I show you what buttons to push because I know a lot of people are, just a little nervous about the technology and about, getting on cam and all that. And so I want people to feel confident when they get on camera. So I need to show you like what buttons to push so that when your time comes for you to get your message out, you're ready.
Love it. See, and it sounds simple, and I think a lot of folks know that they can do it, but there's an intimidation factor, either lights, camera, action, or whatever the case may be. But I love the fact that all of your tutorials, all of your videos really walk everybody through, right? It's not necessarily just geared towards the folks who have been in technology for years and decades or whatever the case may be. It's the person who is just now picking up that phone or just now buying that camera and saying, I've got a story to tell. And there's all of these platforms, all these social media places that you can utilize and take advantage of to help spread that story. So I really wanted to give you those flowers here today on Black Friday. Black Friday.
Thank you so much.
You got it. Let's get into it. You wanted to pull up your screen. I know you had
Yes.
a walkthrough.
And before I do that, I just wanted to tell people one of the reasons why I love Twitter so much. Like when you think about the other platforms that we all can take advantage of, Twitter is one where, let's say you do have something that you're trying to promote or you're trying to get out there. It's not shunned upon. It's not difficult for you to get your links shared and to promote your stuff. People actually are looking for you to do that. You don't have to have a link in bio. If you do, that's fine. But you can have a link in every single tweet and nobody bats an eye. Okay. Doesn't mean that you're a salesy it's just the culture of Twitter. Of course, conversations are key on Twitter as well. And we're definitely going to get to that. So I just want to share just a couple of slides with you guys talking about Twitter, and then we'll get into Twitter Blue.
Love it. Love it.
So first, according to Hootsuite, there's 409 million users, which is like 9.9% of all the people that are on social media. So there's kind of room for us there because everybody's trying to get a word in edgewise over on Facebook and the Meta platforms, right? So here's a couple of things, and I'm bringing this up especially for those who are just like, I'm not spending $2.99. Here's some free things that Twitter has released recently that you may not be familiar with. And the first one is we're at the top where I have the arrow to the tip jar. If you haven't checked your Twitter account, I want you to check your Twitter account on mobile right now. Just go to your tap on your profile, click edit, and scroll down and see if you have that tip jar, because I have it on every single one of my accounts, and everybody I know that I've talked to has it, even internationally. We have our friend Alec Johnson. I had him check his account, and he's over there in Thailand, and he has it. So it's a free option, and people can just donate to you on your tip jar. The next is the professional profile. So when you go to edit your Twitter profile, you'll see that there's an option. And what it does is it just gives you additional tagline on yours. Now, for me, on this account, I put social media influencer. I have another Twitter profile that I put podcast. This is free. Free, free, free. Okay. The next one I want to talk about is the review newsletter, Twitter acquired review. And you'll see also, if you go to my Twitter profile, you'll see that people can subscribe right there from my profile. All right. Now let's just talk about some other features, basic features, is your audio tweets. A lot of you guys are podcasters. You can create an audio tweet from your mobile device. Twitter Spaces is the new social audio, and you can even listen from desktop. Of course, you can do your Twitter Spaces from your phone, and just about everybody has access to that as well. Twitter Live. Now, we could be live on Twitter right now. James and I both could be live on Twitter.
Oh, we are.
And oh, good. See, that's how good it is. I didn't even know. And you can go live from your phone too. So you don't have to have a fancy setup like James. You can just grab your phone and just click that camera icon on the composed tweet, and then click live. And then Twitter communities is something else that they're doing too. It's almost like a Facebook group to a degree. All right, so now we're going to get into Twitter Blue. One of the most exciting features for most people, not necessarily myself, but is the ability to undo tweets. And you'll see here that you have the options for which kinds of tweets you want to undo. So this is almost like the edit button. I'm going to come back on camera real quick because I feel like y'all missed me.
Yeah, we need to. I was trying to bring you back on, and you only had the one camera going with the slide deck. I said, folks need to see Miss Ileane right quick. Blind guy and his wife and their live. Shouts out to you. Appreciate you guys for showing up on YouTube.
Laquita, hey. And I see also Walter is here.
Yes,
and then
yes.
Greg, you mentioned him earlier, and Rich, and my friend Barb Tomlin's here. Hey, Barb, who I chatted with this morning also.
Love
to stream.
Love it. So let me ask you a quick question though, because you mentioned some things that, again, I don't want to gloss over them. Just the usage of Twitter. True, over a while, Twitter has gotten noisy, right? It's gotten there's. When we started out, there were a lot of Twitter chats that we were doing, right, with the hashtag and everything. So you'd get those in your timeline, and then from a political stance, depending on who you're following, Twitter can get noisy again with conversations, but there's a pro and there's con to that. I think definitely the pro is that there's that conversation happening, and if you click on what you like and what your interests are, you can follow those conversations. But I think where we're starting to go to, and what you're going to start showing about Twitter Blue, is you can start more finely dialing in those conversations and making sure that you eliminate the advertisement, you eliminate some of the noise, you not necessarily make it like a Facebook, right, where it's just kind of blinders on conversations and information, but it's kind of weeding out the noise and giving you more information, less advertising, less, I'm going to say, biased types of content. I like what Twitter is doing. And again, the fact that some folks I think have slept on Twitter within the last few years, let's wake them back up. Let's go ahead and wake them back up.
Especially podcasters. I got to tell you, because I see one of the things that if you are a podcaster and you're not on Twitter, let me tell you something that happens every day that is not going to happen on Facebook. Every day, someone on Twitter, multiple people are looking for podcast recommendations. I see that tweet so often,
Yeah.
especially if they're traveling or if they're just bored and they're like, I need a podcast to listen to, or who's got some podcast recommendations? I see these tweets all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a podcaster, you need Twitter instead
Definitely.
of instead of fighting to get people to link in bio. You know,
Let the technology work for you, right? As opposed to, don't recreate the wheel. It's already out there. Just curate the
absolutely.
conversation with hashtags or whatever the case would be, or follow lists and groups, and it really does work. I am a testament to that as well. So y'all better listen. Miss Ileane
Yeah.
speaking the truth out here.
Thank you. And the Twitter lists, but also the Twitter chats.
Mm-hmm.
So if, like, for example, my friend Madeline Sklar, she runs a chat that's called the Twitter Smarter Chat. So anybody who wants to learn how to use Twitter, start with that chat, and it's hashtag Twitter Smarter. She does it on Thursdays, I believe. I don't think she did it yesterday, but she does it. She's been doing it for years. And and I just bring that one up because it is one that you can learn about Twitter if you want to jump in there or jump back in there, because
Yeah.
you kind of let your account go by the wayside. Okay, because I remember I just showed you that you can get tips.
Get
Some
them
of y'all
Look.
waiting to get monetized on YouTube,
So
right?
right there, no, again, so you've been on my show before, so you know I'm crazy, right? Again, I'm not gonna let you move forward when you dropping some gems like that. That's huge, right? Folks are looking at 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours in the calendar year, no strikes, nothing, and all that, and then you can get monetized on YouTube. That takes a little bit of time, right? But and there are other ways of getting monetized, and people really should be looking at the Patreons, the buy me a coffees. If you're on Twitter, it's so straightforward, and as you were showing in your slide deck, it's free to turn it on. All you need is a Stripe account, so folks can pay you right through via their MasterCard or their Visa, and you turn on the tip jar, and you can get incremental revenue for your content creation, for
Oh yeah,
sharing
on
your
Twitter.
message. That's what we're trying to do from a content creator screen, and really think about this. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you go, but look for multiple streams of income, especially when you're content creating. Don't just look at being monetized on YouTube. Don't just look at getting your affiliate marketing revenue from Amazon Live. You probably want to have 10 to 20 literally streams of income if you're a content creator. You saw I showed merchandise, stream of income, monetization on these various platforms. But there you go. So there's my rant for today. It's too early for that, but I'm gonna let Miss Ileane go and keep
No,
going.
it's not early where I'm at. So preach, brother, preach. Is exactly what I do. But I just wanted to just go over something you said, and I'm not sure if I heard you wrong. With Twitter, you can connect Venmo, you can connect Cash App,
Yeah.
something called Band. If you are
Hmm.
a musician, you already know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Band app, I believe it's called, and Patreon. So there's multiple ways, and honestly, I haven't gotten a whole lot of folks giving me tips, but then again, I don't reiterate all the time. I won't say, "Oh, hit that tip jar."
Yeah.
But if I were doing a regular Twitter space, that might be something that I would think about doing.
We didn't even talk about that part, right? Twitter being monetized for Twitter Spaces. So again, it's one of those 10 to 15 to 20 streams of income that you should have as a content creator. I know you got some more slides to go through, but you know what? When you come, people bring their questions. How come I need to have you on more frequently, because we got some strong questions out here. So
All right,
Raymond's
let's get to
Corner
'em.
is asking, Miss Ileane, I am trying out Twitter Blue, and one thing I really like is being able to see a preview of how my tweet will show and an option to undo it in up to 60 seconds. Look, that undo is gold. That's
Yes,
worth the $2.99 in and of itself.
that is the slide that I lift off at.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's more questions, if not, I'll go back to the slide because we did promise Twitter Blue. So
Yeah, okay, I tell you, let me get these questions
let's
too.
get another
So
question out.
Mark
There's
Barros is
more
saying,
already.
thank you, Miss Ileane. Do you recommend Twitter lists for finding podcasts?
I recommend Twitter lists just for navigating Twitter, not specifically for finding podcasts. I think if you're looking for a podcast, then you might want to just go through with hashtags, using searches with hashtags. But Twitter lists may be effective. I'm not going to say it won't work at all,
Mm-hmm.
but typically when you put together a Twitter list, it depends upon if you're hand curating that list. But I'll tell you the best way, if you're looking for podcasts, the best way to find podcasts on Twitter is to follow each and every one of the podcast hosts.
Good point.
Libsyn,
Yeah, yeah,
Anchor, Blue, because they all give people a day where they say, okay, like for Libsyn, it's Fridays. On Fridays,
yeah.
promote the tar out of yourself on Fridays. And that's when everybody replies back to that tweet with their podcast. But,
That's a good
other than
point.
that, I would just search. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because they're
follow
going to
all of
curate and kind of, I'm not going to say sanitize that list, right? They're going to make sure that Libsyn and Anchor and Spotify, they're not going to push out any garbage on their feed. So they're going to make sure that you're a reputable podcast if they're going to push it out to their 100,000 million, however many subscribers as well. That's a really good point.
Yeah. Yep. And I see it every week. So give that a try. All right. So
What is Greg Tom? The real question is
Greg.
what offered more value for $2.99?
That's right, Greg.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because when you read that question, it's like, what are you trying to say? But then when you read that
When
question,
you read into it, when you know what Greg is talking about, yeah.
because I said to myself, $2.99, all the value I get out of Twitter.
Please.
Y'all probably could have charged me $9.99, but shh.
Well, you better go look. I'll send well, I won't. I don't say that out loud. I'm about to say I'll send folks $2.99. But if you can get some value out of that, please, y'all.
Yep. Okay, so let's go back to the slides, and you guys keep putting your questions in the chat. All right.
Yes, I will
we'll
bookmark
get back to
and grab all the
Or-
questions.
So this is the one we were just talking about where you can undo the tweets, but you can turn it on and off based on the kind of tweet. The original tweet, a reply, a thread, a quote. And I'm not going to keep reading, and then you also have different time increments. It doesn't have to be 60 seconds. It could be 10. I forget the other intervals that they stop at, but I just showed the 60. And then here's just an example of me making a typo. See, it says I make typists, but that's really supposed to be typos. And this is where I would have that chance to hit, undo. I meant to write typos. All right. So ad-free sites. Ad-free sites. And I'm not going to go through the list of all the sites that you can get for ad-free. First of all, the list is long. Second of all, I'm expecting that list to change and for more of these sites to be added. But I just used the example of The Verge here because The Verge is one of those sites that honestly, guys, I have never went to The Verge website before.
Really?
Because I was scared of ads. I have a phobia. And I know that The Verge always has good stuff because I always hear, I'm a podcast listener. So people always say, oh, yeah, it's reported in The Verge. And I heard about it on The Verge. And I'm glad you told me about it in the podcast because I'm never going to The Verge website. And the other one that I would never go to, BuzzFeed.
Yeah, don't get caught up in that because
But
that's
you
a
don't
rabbit
have to
hole.
worry because they are in this ad-free sites. Now, I just want to make a little clarification because I think some people are confused about it. This doesn't mean that you're not going to see ads on Twitter. You're still going to see ads on Twitter. But when you go to that site, you go to the Verge account on Twitter, and you go through their timeline and you click on an article that you're interested in, then that's when you'll see that little icon. Let me bring that screen share back up again in the presentation. When you see that little icon at the bottom right, that lets you know that you're on Twitter Blue and you don't have to worry about your phobia or your fear of ads. Okay.
Love it.
All right. The custom navigation. Now, this actually is my favorite feature. The custom navigation. You know why? Because now at the bottom of the screen, I can put my home button. At the bottom of the screen, I can put my top articles, which is the next one of my favorite features that I'm getting ready to tell you about. And I can move around my search and so I love that. And Greg mentioned the bookmarks, and I don't have a screenshot for that, but yep, if you use Twitter bookmarks, you can organize them. But here's my favorite one of my favorites is the top article. So I know what the people that I follow are tweeting about. The people that I follow are tweeting about.
Mm.
Okay. So I don't have to worry. Am I going to see this tweet that a lot of my friends or people that I follow, they don't necessarily have to be my friends. Depends upon how you've curated who you follow on Twitter, right? And what are they talking about today? It may be something that I hadn't thought about or it wasn't on my radar, or maybe I just want to get in and tweet that article out as well, or maybe I just want to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You
Good point.
so it's awesome. I love it. I love it. So I think one more slide and then you'll have me. Oh, early access to Twitter Labs. Oh, this is another feature. And this bottom one here, you can't read it, but I'll try. From your desktop, you can upload and tweet videos that are up to 10 minutes long. So this is like the experimental stuff that they're working on. They're giving early access to that. And then there's another one there where you can pin someone's if you're in a DM back and forth with someone, and there's something that they said that you want to really make sure that you don't lose track of, you can pin it. I don't have that situation so much, but I'm sure that a lot of other people do, especially those that are actually conducting business
Mm-hmm.
on Twitter. You want to pin that tweet. Like just say James and I had set up this via Twitter instead of via email, then I would want to make sure I pin that tweet when he sent me the links that I needed so that I wouldn't have to, where's that tweet again? Let me
Yeah.
scroll back, so those are some of the use cases
Yeah.
for that.
I mean,
So
it's been a while, but you think about these are a lot of the features and functions that folks within the Twitter community have been asking for, and everything comes with an evolution of time. And Twitter's so big and big enough that they should definitely listen to the users and the community. So it's great to see these types of things coming out. Um,
my friend Mark, he's such a great
I
guy.
was
Mark
asking for an
Barris.
affiliate code. I was going to put that up in a
Asking
minute.
for my, oh, I wish I had one. But you could just send out a tweet and say, thank you, Miss Ileane, for telling me
There you
about
go.
Twitter.
Yeah, tweet her out and we'll all share it, man. There's no affiliate code. It's just go in there and get it, man. Get that $2.99.
But you never know. They may wind up doing that. You just never know.
That's
Because,
true.
everybody right now is focused on creators.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it seem like Twitter's special because Facebook is focusing on creators now too, and a bunch of other apps. Even we were going to talk more about other social audio
Yeah.
like Clubhouse. Creators are king right now. Remember when content was king for a long, long, long
We
time?
the new it. We the new it
Oh,
for
yep.
sure.
Now it's us, me and James.
That's it.
Yeah.
Y'all better recognize if you're not following Miss Ileane, you follow me later. Make sure you subscribe to her channels. I'll bring them up and make sure her links are in the description. But I want to bring something up before I forget. Again, talking about content creators and what you were just talking about, there was that one aspect of 10-minute videos, right? So there's your, like in the YouTube short, there's your Facebook whatever, your Instagram reel and story and things like that. But again, if you've got 10,000, 20,000, 200 followers on Twitter, that message propagates out faster. And if you have 200 followers on Twitter and you pay for Twitter Blue $2.99 and you get the opportunity to send a 10-minute video out promoting your services, your sites, your content, put the right hashtags in, share that out, that has just the propensity to explode out there in a good way to not just your audience who you know, but folks who are following the same conversation and the same message. So keep that in mind, folks. Again, there's the value in the $2.99 per month, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's also your opportunity for you to experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, for example, here's what I did. The first video that I uploaded, I thought, you know what? This is so new. People may not understand the 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That might just be
Might be a
that
little too
might be
long.
a little too much shock for people. Okay. So I repurposed. Hello,
Mm,
repurpose.
mm.
Everybody wants to repurpose, right? I repurposed an existing video. It actually was it might have been a YouTube, whatever call to action I had in there. I edited those out. Like if it was a YouTube, I edited it out, whatever. And it was only 3 minutes and a couple seconds. And yes, I did get retweets. I don't know. I don't have the stats like they do in YouTube that tell you how long somebody watched. I don't have all that. And I don't think Twitter is in labs, right? So
Right.
they don't have all that yet. But I did get someone who never watched my video on YouTube to watch parts of the video.
Wow. That's
And
cool.
that's all we can expect,
That's
right?
true. I
You
mean,
know?
you just engagement and outreach, and just being able to cover blanket the industry and the market and the audience with your message, and that's just free advertising and free marketing
That's
for
right.
me.
So this is my recommendation to start off slow. And even if you start off with, if you've never uploaded a video or people don't know you for video, start off with even shorter. You don't have to go to 10 minutes. Start off with an even shorter video. So people say, hey, that person does video. Okay, cool. Right. And then you can build it up. But repurpose
Yeah.
content. And this was just for the record, this was a landscape video. This was not portrait. Just, because you might be thinking, what about my shorts? And you probably can upload a short, but it's probably going to have the black bars.
Yeah. Video should be a
Okay.
landscape. I'm gonna put that out there. Video should be a landscape. I'm
Yeah.
dropping. I'm dropping it right there, folks. That's you heard it.
Now, if you go live on Twitter from your phone, it's probably going to be portrait. I'm not even sure because right now Twitter Live is still, they haven't finished developing Twitter
Yeah,
Live.
I'm gonna say we won't
It
talk
was
about
built
that.
on top of. Go ahead. I'm
No, because
sorry.
we won't talk negative about them. We still we promote the paid for service, but there's some intricacies of going from Periscope to Twitter Live in
Right.
house that still need to be addressed. But the Twitter Blue subscription service is pretty locked in. So
Yes. And, I will say that with the investment of time that they're putting into Twitter Spaces, that I think that once that is like really settled, the dust has settled. Somebody told me that Gary Vee was doing Twitter Spaces. I'm not a huge Gary Vee fan, but that was promising to me
yeah,
to hear that Gary Vee started up a show on Twitter Spaces.
hmm
Okay. So I'm just putting it out there about Twitter, guys. Don't sleep on it because I just told you like a couple ways that you can use it that is not even going to take a bite out of your social media budget.
that's crazy.
Repurposing content. There's so many apps that will auto tweet to Twitter. If
Hmm.
you're a podcaster on Libsyn, all you have to do is click your Twitter and it auto tweets every time you put out a podcast. A lot of the other podcast hosts have similar. So you don't have to spend a whole lot of time on Twitter unless you find it fun like James and I do and you want to spend time over there.
And it all depends. You think about it because now you start separating hobbyists from folks who are more serious in these content creation streets, right? Again, if you really are looking to build something, community, network, an environment, utilizing social media, utilizing live stream, you got to respect that process and you got to put some of that work in, right? And you got to understand that you've got all these different platforms. You can't be on all of them, but the ones that you're on, make sure you're good and make sure you put in the work to get what you need done. But again, for the folks who are just doing it to send out a couple of things, a couple of messages once in a while, yeah, do what you got to do. But again, if you kind of turn that corner and say, I really want to go out there and influence, I want to go out there and motivate, I want to go out there and help people along their journey or tell their story, and I'm going to utilize these technology platforms. We're talking about something today that might be something that you want to put in your toolkit, right? We talk a lot about always buying cameras and lights, and I'm not going to go into a whole lot of that right now, but I'm just saying let's put something of value in that toolkit that you can implement and you can help distribute and spread that message. Let me give you some of these flowers here right quick though, because Ramsey Unleashed is talking about you. He says Queen Ileane
Praise her.
been doing YouTube videos before YouTube was invented. Good Lord, that proves how much content she has. I'm gonna leave that there and say that I'm sure that was a compliment, but good Lord, he said
Yeah,
I was doing
praise her.
YouTube before YouTube was invented.
That's
Okay.
my buddy Fraser Ramsey.
You know.
Now, that's a podcast maniac right there. He's got his own podcast little network over there, Mint Radio. Yep.
He caught on to my Law and Order soundbite too. There you go. There you go.
All right.
What you got next? I was going to just show because you already kind of went over the Twitter Blue
Hmm.
highlights, and there is a blog post, and I'll put the link in the description about what the company themselves has wrote, kind of talking about core functionality. But we've already talked about that. Bookmark folders, the undo tweet is huge. Good Lord, just being able to type something and say and hit send and be like, oh, I don't know if I really should have sent that, or I misspelled something, whatever, and then being able to come back, because you can actually set that duration. I believe it starts at 10 or 15 or 20 seconds, and then you can go all the way up to 60 seconds to where you set that undo tweet capability. So that's huge. Reader mode, as you were saying, is great. The ability to, is that my dog? I'm gonna shoot it. No, I don't want to say
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Lord.
because I don't have one.
Okay, I won't say that online, but y'all folks who know me personally know how I feel about this dog. I'll leave that alone.
He was fine. It was very faint, so he's fine.
He gonna be faint, all right. He gonna be faint, all right. You're messing up the stream with Miss Ileane. But check this link out. I would definitely put a link in the description about that. And then Ileane has also done a online video tutorial talking about what is Twitter Blue, and she walks through again a lot of the highlights as well. So I'll make sure that you guys have a link to that as well. So where we going next? Where we going next?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's just talk really quickly about Twitter Spaces because I
Hmm.
do want to make a comparison with that with Clubhouse. So the social audio, audio is like my second love after video. And because Twitter Spaces has rolled out a couple of features that some folks may not be familiar with, and just real quick, Twitter Spaces is really just Twitter's answer to Clubhouse.
Yeah,
You can start up a
yeah.
space. Just about everybody has access to it now. You can start up a space. You can schedule them in advance. But now they've rolled out slowly, only have it on one of my accounts, that you can record your spaces. So, those of you who are podcasters, this is another way that you can get your podcast content done. I'll give you once again, shout out to Madeline Sklar. She's got a couple of Twitter spaces but one that I really love is called All Things Audio.
Mm,
Her and her co-host on that show, they record on Twitter spaces, and then you get the other voices to come into your show. Now, people that are your co-hosts or people that were your person you were interviewing, but then you've got this mix of people, and every time they have folks come in, there's always someone who has some knowledge because they talk all things audio, not just Twitter spaces, some knowledge that the two hosts didn't even have, and they always add and bring value to the conversation. So definitely one that you want to check out. And also they've had transcripts, live transcripts. They've had that for a long time, and you can listen from desktop.
Oh, I
So
didn't know you
for
can listen
this,
from desktop. Okay, that's
you
pretty.
can listen
Okay.
from desktop.
Huh.
You cannot contribute. People can
Okay.
see that you're there, that you're listening, but you cannot yet contribute. But that's eventually they're going to change that as well. They've already said that they're working on it. So on the other side, which is Clubhouse, let's talk about that really quickly. They are rolling out. These two platforms are like neck and neck. Like you can tell they're duking it out. It's
Yeah.
like Twitter rolls out Android, Clubhouse rolls out Android. Twitter rolls out recording, Clubhouse rolls out recording. Now everybody can record on Clubhouse. So everyone has that option. Once again, a great way to get your podcast recorded. Okay. So, and if you're concerned about audio quality and all of that, there's different ways, there's hardware that you can use
Yeah.
to bring in and we're not going to go over all that right now, but just know it's just another way to eliminate your excuses for not recording a podcast. How about that?
That's true. I mean, I think at the end of the day, that's kind of the statement that we want to make. There's all of these social audio platforms, and folks have stories that they want to tell, and they have people around them who they want to share those stories as well. All of the main players out there, Facebook, Twitter, um, YouTube to an extent, also have audio content capabilities, social audio content creation capabilities. And then with the advent of Clubhouse, really kicking all of those larger legacy companies in the butt and saying, look, you see what we're doing. Because when Clubhouse started, right, they had Elon Musk on there with the CEO from what was it, the investment company where they had that problem was Acorns. So I think it was Acorns. Elon Musk was on the line with the CEO of I think it was Acorns and Greg, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, and they were literally talking about the whole AMC and the whole the issue with the stock back during the
Oh, it
pandemic
was,
and those.
yeah, Robin Hood.
Robin
Um,
Hood. I'm sorry. What did I say? Acorns? Lord. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
y'all know what I'm talking about. Do as I say and not as
yeah,
I do.
I
But
figured it out. I figured it out. I was trying to read this comment. Oh, really quickly that Mark mentioned that Madeline also does a Twitter profile audit show on Saturdays. Because remember, I told you she has three: Twitter
mm,
Smarter, All Things Audio, but the Twitter profile audit is not a podcast, but it's just a way if somebody wants to, up their Twitter game.
yeah.
I'm scared to go in there because I'm like, please don't tear my account up, Madeline. No.
You know.
But no, great advice. They give great advice. The few times that I've listened in, the folks that were getting, she's very, very kind, and how she lets you know what's going on with your Twitter. And also Laquita, blind guy, his wife, their life wants to know, is it independent? Yes, Twitter is space is operates independently.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really combine it with other things. There's always hacks. You jump through hoops and you, like I said, use your Rodecaster Pro and all that. But no, it's just you only use it on your mobile.
Right.
However, you can listen. Now, those of us who have Ecamm Live, we know that
Shouts out to
just easy.
Ecan.
Shout out to my friends at Ecamm. By
Yeah.
the way, it's on sale right
Man, I need to put that
now.
affiliate link up, man. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
put
lie.
that
Now,
link
yeah,
up.
there's an affiliate link right there for you,
Okay.
Mark. Right,
All
man.
you have to do is plug your phone in, and let's just say, I think I have this scene set up. Let's just say I was in a Twitter space right now.
Get it. Go ahead.
I will be able to record it, and I would have my good quality audio. At least my audio would be good.
Mm.
Now, other people that were in the space, it may, it just all depends. And you know what? While I have this up, just really quickly, let me just show you. Let me make sure I get over to the right account.
And I'm loving how your scene kind of already fits a little bit with the environment and scene that I had up already, so I don't have to worry about. Okay, Ileane, boy.
Yes. All right. So just really quickly, if you wanted to start a Twitter space, right here where you see that purple plus at the bottom, and mine's is purple because I have Twitter blue, then notice that I could, put my title there. I can pick 3 categories. And notice on this account, which is Anchor Show, I have recording. So
Huge.
I could record my space. This is the only
Huge.
one that I have recording on. So, so just there's a quick tidbit just to show you how that works. So it's all mobile. It doesn't integrate with anything else, Laquita.
Yeah.
But thanks for that question.
Yeah.
All right, so back to Clubhouse, and like I said, they are duking it out,
yeah.
and this is great. There's nothing wrong with this, guys. This is wonderful. This is what we want.
Exactly.
We want these powerhouse apps to fight over us.
Pretty
Because
much.
that's basically what they're doing, giving us anything we want. Like they have the clips feature. And if you're not familiar with
Mm-hmm.
clips, a lot of places have it. YouTube has it on some accounts. Facebook has it with your live replays that you can just take a snippet, 30 seconds, and share. You can create that right within the app. Twitter's going to roll that out soon, but right now Clubhouse has it. And I actually like the way the Clubhouse one looks. It brings up the people that are speaking, the people that are on stage will show up on the graphic. And it's nice to share it out on Twitter and also even on Facebook. Now, I got a question for y'all. I know I only can see James's hand, but I want you to raise your hand if you ever use Facebook's audio rooms.
Man, I'm trying to get an audio room. I just have a video room. You got the audio room too, man. Y'all see Ileane up in here, man. Y'all better get on.
Ain't nobody in them Facebook. Now, Facebook does have a fantastic audio hub for us podcasters. Now, don't get it twisted. Now, hopefully y'all been following me. Y'all see me posting about it, that you can make sure that your podcast RSS feed is connected to your Facebook page. It's free. It takes 30 seconds. No, it might take 2 minutes because you actually have to verify your email address. That's what takes the longest, waiting for your email service provider to send you that email and for you to click it and say, yes, it's me. And then you will have a tab on your Facebook page that says podcasts. Now, pay attention. It only works on mobile. I'm going to say that one more again because I know y'all wasn't paying attention. It only works on mobile. Because you're going to say, Miss Ileane, I did all this stuff, and every time I go, I can't find my podcast. Yeah, because you're looking on desktop. It only works on mobile. Okay?
Keep going. I'm gonna keep dropping these audio hits, right? Every time you drop them gems like that, she said, "Let me say it for y'all one more again in the back of the room."
And so what happens is, once again, people who follow your page, they can see it if they go over to Facebook Watch. Now, this is the part that's kind of funky. You go to Facebook Watch, then you'll see tabs up at the top. I might as well do the screen share because this is something that's really kind of hard to explain. It's so much easier to see it. All right, hang on 1 second. Let me get Facebook. All right, you're going to go to the watch icon. Oh, it's in the bottom row. And then up at the top, you'll see for you, live music audio. Click on audio, and the first thing you see there is somebody's podcast. They always have somebody that they're trying to push out. Maybe they have a big following. I'm not going to say they're a big podcaster, but that's always at the top. But then you scroll down, and this is the people that I have intentionally went out and subscribed to their podcast. Pod News, my friend Rich and his co-host from the Big Promo Cast, Tube Talk. All right, so let me just show you what it looks like. When you click on the podcast, then you can play it. And I think I have it on mute. Yeah, I do have it on mute. And you can create clips. When it's time to share it, I can create a clip from this podcast.
Love it. And clean.
Okay. So that is something that was really great that Facebook introduced. So Facebook is trying to make their mark in the audio space. as well. So yeah, look at all these places we got. You
That's the
know,
one thing I still like about everything else about Facebook. I'm not a fan of, and I've said it publicly. Me and Zuckerberg don't get along. I'll never get a sponsorship from him. But when I do my podcast on there as well, I mean, again, the engagement numbers really started to see an increase because again, you got over 1 billion people on the platform, and you get that auto curation, so to speak. But that they have done a really good job with the podcast for brand pages and for content creator profiles kind of thing. So
yeah, and I gotta tell you that this is not the first time. Like they used to be able to listen to podcasts on Facebook before,
mhm.
and then they messed it up and it wasn't working for a little while. And then it was like you could use a third party. It was a long story.
Yeah,
And so for years, it just didn't work. You just couldn't even share. People just could not listen to your podcast on
yeah,
Facebook. So this is why the creator economy is so powerful. So as much as Facebook tried to ignore podcasts, like podcasts, nobody cares about that. Oh no, Facebook, you're wrong.
yep, yep. Been
You're
listening to us.
wrong. People care about podcasts. Podcasts is a billion, they're approaching $1 billion industry now. So all of a sudden, oh yeah, bring your podcast over here. Come on. We need,
For
we love
everybody, yeah,
podcasts.
come on. We know you're already
Yeah.
on the platform, so come on
Matter of
over.
fact,
Okay,
we're going to start a podcast.
man,
Here it is. So
my goodness.
there's a Facebook podcast out there. I can't say that I listened much to it, but there is something that's supposed to be geared towards small business owners.
Right on.
But
Shout
so
out here to Ross Boundy. Got a good day to Miss Ileane and myself. So again,
hey,
loving seeing folks jumping in.
hi Ross. Good day, mate.
Oh,
Ross
she
is in
across the pond there too. Well,
yeah,
that would be
Australia, way
be
across.
down and around, right?
Down
Australia.
under.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I
Yes.
love it.
All right. So yeah, and so the real quick, Soundwave is another app
Yeah.
that I introduced, and the video is on my YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And Soundwave is not trying to play in the pool with all these big social media apps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's just a fun app to go on, like when you want to relax and kick it. You just record something, a 60-second audio clip, and people reply back to you. Basically, you're talking about your life. Like James could get on there and talk about his dog and the things, why he loves his dog so much.
That would not be the title. Let me get back on screen. That would not be the title of that podcast.
Okay. And then people will reply back and say, I had a dog that I had to,
Mm-hmm.
So it's, and we need that. We all need that. There's folks that may get on there. They may be under a little stress. There was one young lady I heard talking about, she said she knew she was going to get fired from her job.
Mm.
And, the community just poured into her and just say, you're going to be all right. You never know. This could be, one door closes, another one open, all this. And it is just a community. This is what we always say we want.
True.
We want authenticity. We want to build community. We want, we say we want this, right? So sometimes, and it's only 60 seconds.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're not sitting there ranting the whole time. You're not Monday morning quarterback the games from yesterday that you wished your team had won. You got 1 minute to get out there and spread your
you can
speak
talk
your
about
mind.
That, the conversations can go back and forth. Like your 60 minutes is your initial, but if you get cut off, then you can just reply to yourself, and because people will reply to you, when they reply to you, their reply is like 30 seconds, and then also they can give emojis, and then as the creator of the post, you're able to post some text there. So you could put a link there if you want, but people don't just be like, follow my podcast. It's not that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was talking about my Joseph, who is my grandson, and everybody wanted to see my Joseph. So, I posted a link to the video so they could watch him because he's on my YouTube channel. And, but it's not like one of those things like subscribe, follow. No, it's not like that.
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
All
Barbara, I just
right.
there's the link right there. You were asking about the link for Soundwave, and Miss Ileane
Thank
has got
you.
a custom link for it. So there it is right there.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
And then along with that, you've got your video that you've also done on Soundwave talking about how to set it up and what it's good for and some use cases.
Mhm.
So definitely check that out. And I again will put the link to that video in the description on after we get done with this.
You are the best host ever.
Well, I'm just trying to do you right. I'm trying. You see,
I
I'm
give you the
standing up
best
too,
host
right?
award.
I'm standing up, trying to make sure that I've got my
You,
posture right. So
this year, I always pick a word for the year. Well, I shouldn't say
mm,
always, but I gave up on New Year's resolutions a
yeah.
while ago, and I did all the good ones, like stop smoking cigarettes. I did all that stuff back in the day. So, so I decided last year or 2 years ago that I would just have a word for the year. And
Okay.
actually, 2 years ago, my word was breathe. That was before the pandemic. And this year, my word was
Mm,
collaboration. And
mm.
my first collaboration of the year was with you. And here we are back again doing another one.
It is right. It was a divine intervention, some kind of
Oh,
how, some kind of way. No, it's my
yes,
pleasure.
yes,
I was
yes.
humbled that you even accepted the offer to come on and talk,
Oh,
folks. But
sure.
listen, Ms. Ileane talked about a handful of things, and hopefully they resonated with you guys, right? Again, trying to initially focus on the content creators out there, but making sure because there's so many of us and so many of you watching and listening when we publish the audio, the audio podcast as well, that there are all these tools out there. Take advantage of them, and they don't all cost a whole lot of money. Most of them, if they do cost, don't cost much anyway. They cost that small latte that you get every single day anyway. Maybe skip a day and buy Twitter Blue for $2.99 a month. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't want to get in your business at the end of this year. But again, putting out these tools, putting out these resources for you to take advantage of. And Eileen, before we go, I want to again give you some more flowers and have you talk about your website because you've got so much good stuff out there in terms of content that you share with folks. And if you could talk about what it is that you do at EileenSmith.com.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that one up. But actually, there is another website that I want you to bring
Uh
up.
oh, talk to us. Where you going?
The Anchor Show. The Anchor Show.
Oh,
That is my website for my podcast. And I promise I'm going to put out an episode. I know y'all waiting, right?
is it theanchorshow.com?
Theanchorshow.com.
Okay. I
And
want to make sure
what's
I put in the right
absolutely
link.
wonderful.
I want to make sure I typed in the right link.
Yeah, that's it. Yes. And what I love about this is the service that I'm using, which is called Podpage. Not to be confused with because there's an imitator out there, but it's Podpage. So it's Ileane.link/Podpage. But and you can start this for free. So especially if you're an anchor podcaster, because that's what this podcast is for. It's for beginner podcasters or people who are looking to start their second podcast or just figure out this whole social media stuff, right? So if you're using Anchor, you don't want to send people to the Anchor website. First of all, it don't have your branding. I don't care if it's anchor.fm like mine's,
Mm-hmm.
anchor.fm/Ileane. I don't want people to go there, right? I want people to come here and see all the places where they can subscribe. They could also sign up for my email list. But if you look up at the top, James, you will see a link to videos. And the fellow who is the developer for this, his name is Brendan. He hooked up where you can put your YouTube channel feed on your pod page. So even if I don't have a new podcast episode, I always got a new YouTube video going up over there.
Wow.
And you also can blog there as well. So I don't have as many blog posts, but I've got that. So this is a page where I can send people that I don't have to worry about them going to watch my competitions videos, right? So this page serves as my videos page. So yeah, I love it. I love this I love the fact that I can bring together my two loves of video along with podcasting and have them all in one place with this pod page. And you can customize. I have the pro, I paid for mine. And it's less than $200. I can't remember how much it was.
Okay. Okay.
But and they've got templates in there, so I could use a different layout. In fact, I just changed the layout in the last 2 weeks. And you can customize the look and feel of it. You can customize what player is on there. And because it's the Anchor show and I'm talking about Anchor, and Anchor got acquired by Spotify. So if you click on that first episode there where it says recent episodes, you click that one on, you should see the Spotify player. So I put the Spotify player there.
Mm-hmm.
And so look out, because they just Anchor and Spotify just gave me the option for video. So I will be able to have video on my podcast, which you'll only be able to see on Spotify.
On Spotify. Okay. Okay.
But I kind of want to encourage people to listen on Spotify. They don't have to. They've got all those other choices there. But I put that Spotify player there. And like I said, eventually, and I think that eventually they will have the embed for the videos. We'll see. I'm not sure where Spotify is going to go with it, but Spotify just announced that they've got $3.5 billion to spend on podcasting.
My goodness, they got that. They got some. Let me go and put up my buy me a coffee or my Cash App and Spotify. But that's amazing, right? That's good for us because they.
And people squawk about $2.99 on Twitter, but guess how many people pay in Spotify?
That's where I was going to go. That's exactly where I was.
Some music they probably don't even listen to because they listen to podcasts.
Now you're talking about people business now. Oh Lord, see that we got new folks that came in. We got my dad that came in, and he hearing Miss Ileane talk crazy.
Oh, he's listening to music. Hello,
Yeah.
Mr. Hicks.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Awesome. And Zeph Zan has jumped in off of Facebook. Love it. I like what Ross said too.
Hello, Zeph San is here. Hey, Zeph. Hi. All right.
Awesome. Ileane, thank you very much. This has been amazing. And I like the fact, again, that we started the year together. We might be kind of shutting out the year together as well from a collaboration and just conversation perspective. This is some good stuff, folks, right? Really take advantage of it. And again, I know we were leaning heavy towards the content creation space and the folks that are out there spreading messages and sharing messages. But again, just for taking advantage of technology, because we consume in all this data anyway, right? It might as well properly curate it to meet what your likes and your interests and things of that are, right? And you got your phone with you all the time anyway. Take advantage of what these the Clubhouses, the Twitter Blues, the Sound Waves, all those other platforms as well. Make it work for you as opposed to working for it. And it's so simple, it's so straightforward and easy to use. I think folks should jump on some of these options that are available to them because again, like we said, all these companies are competing for our attention, and their software development houses are building functionality, building capabilities in that we want. So the more they sweat and the more that they stress over trying to get the right thing that'll gather our eyes, the better for us. It just is what it is. It's supply and demand. It's marketing. It just works, and we just sit back and enjoy the fruits of all of those labors. So, Ileane, are you going out there and hitting them streets? You going shopping today?
Supermarket, because I was scared to try to go to the supermarket on Wednesday, and so
Yeah.
I better go today to
Yeah.
get just a couple little things. But no, I did get one software purchase,
Okay.
and that was an upgrade to something that I already was using, and it
Okay.
was like the upgrade was 50% off. Okay, and that was it. That's it. It's not because I'm
No, it's
watching
early.
my
You're gonna get some more.
It's, I got until Monday. I got until Monday night. I'm practicing restraint. In fact, that was my sound wave today. I'm practicing restraint.
You better than me because patience is not in my vocabulary, and any adjectives or synonyms restraint. No, I can't do it. I'm about to go hit Best Buy in like 20 minutes. Hopefully my
But if,
wife
I
didn't hear
will
that.
say, if anybody is going to buy anything, look at buying Ecamm. If you have a Mac, look into their sale and use James's link and
Bless
look
you.
into their prices. Yes.
Bless you. I appreciate you. Have a great day, Ileane. Thank you for your time,
Thank
for your
you.
attention, for coming. It's always a pleasure. Folks that have joined, make sure you subscribe to her channel as well if you're not a subscriber of my channel as well, because look, we're gonna go ahead and pat ourselves on the back. We've got some great content that I think resonates with the right folks, and if we're not providing that great content, I'm gonna speak for her as well. Let us know, right? So we can meet the needs of the community and the audience, because we're here as servants to make sure that you have the information that you need. So, everyone, thank you for chiming in. We appreciate you for joining. Go out there, finish up that turkey, and have a great day. We out.
Stay beautiful.